Well, I got some more Cooter stuff, place stuff here, and I got it on the hood of my El Camino. Hey, by the way, I'm going to be painting this El Camino, and I figured out how I'm going to do this on the cheap. Spray cans. And I said, what kind of spray cans I'm going to do? And I'm going to tell you this on another video. It's going to be wheel paint. Mag wheel paint in bronze. And this stuff is chip resistant, acid resistant. It's a hard paint, man. I did it before, and I said, whoa, I get like 6 cans for like $46 delivered. And you might get maybe $145 worth of paint, and you got the whole car done. Because I only got to do the inside part, and anytime I scratch it up, I can fix it. So that's probably how it's going to be done, man. But anyway, this is signed by Ben Jones himself. See right there, Cooter. Hey y'all, Cooter, Ben Jones. Man, I appreciate the hell out of this. And I knew there was a 7th season because this thing ran. Well, back when this was running in '86, I was in Marine Corps and overseas. So I was overseas from '85 to '91, 7 years almost. And I didn't see this. Well, I think maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And it's a shame. I think a lot of people could have been alive today with Jesse Denver, played by Denver, and Sorrell. What's his name? Of course, Roscoe P. Coltrane. God, man, James Best, right? And the one who played Boss Hogg, was it Sorrell? They could have all been alive today, actually, with the right stuff, and Waylon Jennings, with the right stuff. I'm telling you, man. I don't even want to get into all that because it pisses me off so much with these doctors, man. They don't know what the hell they're all about money. But I got, I already put a few of these Cooters for President signs. I got one on my Sebring convertible, which I'm going to get a battery for today. And I was just checking out we'll show you how to restore that battery later. And I think I know how to do it with a manual charger. I got some Cooter blood in me right here, mechanic blood. And put a couple of them back on the back of my El Camino, as you saw in the other video. This, I got a few of these South Carolina flags. It looks like that, right? And you saw that in one of my videos. I like this flag, actually, with the palmetto tree and the moon and the stars and bars. I had to send one of these to a relative of mine by the name of Ben. By the way, my relative is named Ben. He's got my same last name, and he lives in South Carolina on the street with my last name, and which is weird. It's named after my family was in Confederacy down there, Darlington and Marlborough County and Florence County, South Carolina, right where Sherman went through. And I'm probably going to I think I'm going to order some more stuff today. I had to get this one. This is like a moonshine type mason jar. Cooters on it. I'm going to order the bigger orange cup too. Man, there's something about this. It's the only TV series I actually bought all this stuff for. I could care less about anything else out of Hollywood. And I was saying before, I was making a suggestion, and it may not be anywhere near as good as the original with all the stuntmen and all that crap, but I don't think, you see, the car jumps and the stunts in themselves aren't really what that was about, even with the car. You know what was going on there? It was the spirit of the South, the fight against depression, the fight against the big guys, and also, Boss Hogg was like representing like the big guys down south, but not like they weren't anywhere near as bad as the big guys up north. And me, being raised up in New Jersey, near New York City, I am quite aware of the slicksters up there, man. But everybody could be influenced, man. Everybody could be influenced. There's no doubt about it. So I got my ways of working on things, and I appreciate him signing this, man. I'm really going to treasure the hell out of this. I'll be watching this here pretty soon because I probably didn't see any of these, which is neat. But they could keep this show going. I mean, they don't even need to get high tech or do jumps with the cars, or it just has to be genuine Georgia people, or South Carolina, or even North Central Panhandle, Florida, or something like that. Or people like from down south. Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. I guess Texas is south, but it's also an independent state. But I guess when you're talking deep south, you're talking. Well, South Carolina, North Carolina, especially up in the Appalachians. It could just be all genuine people, man. It doesn't have to even be, anything high tech. Because really what this show what made this show was the chemistry amongst the people, was the genuineness of it. There was nothing phony about it. That's what Hollywood missed. See? It was nothing phony about it. That's why it succeeded. Actually, Hollywood was screwing up this show with their corny scripts, man. You see? Hollywood is freaking throwing in their dumb, weird ideas about stuff. They could. It was like everybody. You see, me even being up north, I realize what South is about. You see, now I've been down south more than freaking 20 years, and also I've been outside of the northern area for 35 years. I guess I could say I'm pretty much southern now, even though I wasn't born there. But I do have southern heritage from South Carolina, big time, going all the way back to the American Revolution. So Captain Wise's Rangers and all that kind of stuff. That was my, I think, 6th or 7th grade grandfather, and also had another great grandfather that served under Captain Francis Marion and the Swamp Fox in South Carolina, fighting against the British. And then a couple generations later, they were in the South Carolina 8th Infantry and the 21st Infantry, Timmonsville Minutemen, and those units almost got wiped out, man. I don't even think my family even owned one damn slave, man. Period. So they were just privates in there. So anyway, you can see some of my other videos out there, because I did show that freaking leaflet from the Republican Party up north. The tariff is the only issue before you. It was all about benefiting the North and screwing the South, so the South seceded, right? But anyway, South is, I got a lot more respect for Southerners when I was in the Marine Corps, too. That was really started to influence me, to tell you the truth. It wasn't necessarily, I always liked this show, but it wasn't really this show that influenced me that the South was good. It was actually from the Southerners that were Marines in the Marine Corps. And, I realized they're real true blue Americans. There's a lot more of real true blue Americans in the Marine Corps there from down south. They're the backbone of our U.S. military. Not to say that everybody else in the nation doesn't contribute too, but the deal is today we got the model of Abe Lincoln out there. Centralized control and war for profit. That's what Abe Lincoln was about. And the Dukes was about fighting the power. That's really what it was. Now I'm going to tell you, maybe this might be a little too revealing. My Italian side from my mom. It's not like moonshiner, but the Italian name actually literally means make wine. So that's like the Italian version of moonshiners. And we're all descended from Duke Albert Edwards. So and you wouldn't believe the way some of these Italians are up, even in New Jersey, that are still up there. You think they're freaking redneck country boys. I should put my cousin on here one of these days, man, if I ever go up there. Anyway, Cooter's, Luray, Virginia. And I'm going to be ordering some more stuff from him for today, man. But I'm glad he signed this. It's really cool. Appreciate it, Ben. And I'll be fighting the power here. I got my own angles on doing stuff. And I think I'm actually fairly effective. But, I'm never, that fast out of the gate. But don't mess with me, man. I'll tell you that right now. Because I know the money games. I know the money games. It's like we can't send a guy to be a president now. That's not the deal, man. Actually, I think make America great through moonshine. And that might be something I might be doing up in the future. Might get the not that I give a crap about paying for the regulatory fees, which I know you get in big trouble if you don't pay them with the ATF for making your own not moonshine but fuel for cars. But there's so many damn tax breaks on it. I was thinking, you know what? I got to do that whenever I get up in Tennessee, or I get a base up there when I'm down here in Florida and down in Tennessee, where I'll probably make fuel for cars, man. I'm gonna probably get into that, get the licenses and all that kind of crap, because major tax breaks with that stuff. And if everybody started doing it, they would take away the tax breaks, because what the central government's about, right? But that's the beauty of the Dukes. They're all moonshiners too, right? What the hell they make that crap illegal for? Why? Because the government needs their money. Remember I told you back in 1932 that was the first time they started putting the national tax on gasoline, 1932. That Prohibition that came about in 1920 was actually pushed for by John D. Rockefeller, and John D. Rockefeller only pushed for prohibition because alcohol was the de facto fuel for the Ford Model Ts. He didn't want the competition, so he pushed for it under like religious reasons. He backed the woman that were saying alcohol splits up the family and all this kind of crap, right? You know what I mean? So it was a scam. Well, just like Abe Lincoln said, he was freeing the slaves. You know, that was another cover story. He was like centralized control, and he was the guy for the railroads, man. So, I mean, the real magic of this show is like they know, everybody in America really, for the most part, knows the spirit of the South. And see, that's what this show really did. It was more than family values. It was the spirit of the South, too. The fight against injustices. And, you know, it didn't even need, the show would have gone great, even without all the high-tech, jumps and stuff, which is cool, with the car. If they didn't even jump that car one time, and did some of the crazy stunts and stuff, which they're cool, but even if they didn't do any of that stuff, this show still would have took off, because there's a spirit that it's displaying, and the spirit of the South to fight back against draconian control, centralized control, and that bad attorney up there that used to work for the railroads, Abe Lincoln. Everybody thinks that guy was a good guy. No, he wasn't, man. So anyway, Make America Great Through Moonshine. That should be Cooter for President's logo. And I'll leave you with that thought. And I think I'm going to get in contact with this guy up in my family. He's pretty old. He's like over 80 years old. I want to send him this flag to put out there. I got a couple more of those already. I got a bunch of Confederate flags. Oh yeah, you can see my here. Here's my cavalry flag, 12-star. And what do we got here? We got the Army of North Virginia flag, proudly flying. And of course, we got Cooter's Garage.